those. And hello again, everyone. Welcome into another edition of the Jacket Corner here on TV 24. Last Friday night, the Oxford Yellow Jackets went on the road and wrapped up their region schedule with a hard-fought 31-21 victory over Chelsea. It was a significant victory, basically putting the Yellow Jackets into the playoffs as the third seed in their region. I'm Mickey Shadricks, joined now by head coach Ryan Herring. And coach, this was a unique situation for you last Friday night because of the way things worked out with Pell City in their game. You either could be third or you were out. You controlled your own destiny though, and you got the win. That was all that mattered.
Yeah, and Chelsea was kind of in the same boat too, so we knew it was going to be a tough game. We knew Chelsea was going to give us their best shot, and they did. They played a lot better than they'd played the week before. And that's what people do when they're backed up against the wall. But I can't say enough about the kids. It was 21-21 and a half. You know, the game's tight. We came out second half and played a good second half of football and came away with a win.
You had an open week leading into the game. How did that work out for you?
You know, defensively, I didn't think we played well early. But I don't think it was because of the open week. I just think we just made some mental errors. But I liked having the open week. If I could do it over, I'd probably do the same thing.
Well, we talked the last time we did a show, we talked about how the open week worked out well for you with the overall school schedule because it was fall break. And even though I know you practiced, the kids didn't have to worry about going to class during the fall break week. You played that first game back on August 22nd. Not many teams chose to play a, quote, real game that week. So you're happy with how the schedule worked out?
Yeah. I am. You know, I don't like the fact we're playing Decatur this week right before the playoffs, but I like the way it fell, the open week with fall break. I like to play in Southside Gadsden that week 0. So, you know, most everything has worked out good.
When you're in a situation like you were last Friday night with Chelsea where you have to win, what was it like? What was the mood of the team? And then especially at halftime when you were in a dogfight tied at 21-21, what was the topic of conversation there in the locker room?
Well, we knew we just made some mental errors, took some things on with the wrong shoulder, didn't make a tackle or two, got a penalty for a hit out of bounds that kept a drive going. Should have made some plays we didn't make. So we felt like we could stop them. We just had to take care of us and eliminate our errors and our mistakes. And I thought we kind of did that in the second half. Offensively, we were moving the ball great in the first half. So I wasn't really worried about the offense. I was just wanting the defense to step in and do its part. And luckily, you know, a couple of adjustments at halftime we did.
This is a new road trip for you. Chelsea, and in the region with Chelsea, that's a new team. You haven't been playing against them in the last region alignment. What was the trip like?
It was an easy trip. We got off in Pell City and went 25-231, then got on 280 in Vincent. But it wasn't a bad trip at all. You know, we thought about going to Leeds and going 119, but we ended up going that way. It was an easy trip. The environment was good. We had a nice locker room. So I enjoyed it.
Well, when we come back, we'll have highlights of the first half of the Oxford-Chelsea game. And also coming up later, we'll have our player spotlight, a double dose for you today as we'll take a look at 2 outside linebackers on the Yellow Jacket football team. And, of course, we'll look ahead to the playoffs coming up for Oxford as well. But it is senior week, senior night this Friday night. We'll be back with much more here on the Jacket Corner. Stay with us. And let's head down to Chelsea. Yellow Jackets on the road and final region game of the year, and a little bit lower shooting angle here because of the way the setup was for the TV crew on Friday night. Coach, they have the ball to start the game.
They came out and did a good job. They kind of swallowed us up on the front. The back ran well, you know, so they came out, but we finally got them stopped right here. They punted, pinned us deep, but offense is going to come out. We're going to hand the ball to Gamble, and he's going to find a way to get some yards. You know, he's hard to bring down. He's not a speed merchant, you know, but he is a football player. Throw a little quick game to Jacob Cook right there. Does a good job of catching it and getting upfield. Good throw by Weber. Try a little trickeration to motion gamble out, and it ends up getting some yards. You know, it's just one of those deals you want to just smoke and mirrors, but we're trying to get him the ball every way we can. Good job right here hitting Zip Siplin right here. Old Dylan does a great job. We've thrown that about 3 times this year, and it's always there. There, we just run a power play right there. Gamble gets the end zone. Great drive by the offense right there, and great finish with a kick by Bo Riley. Back on defense right here. Defensive end spills the block, but doesn't make the tackle. We worked on it all week, and he was there. I guess it hit a little quicker than what we had been able to show him with scout team. And number 5 does a good job. That's a good quarterback. He's a sophomore. We're going to deal with him again next year. Here they are kicking off, and we just come up and drop the ball, overrun a little bit, and kind of hits us on the neck and the face, and we just fumble it. So one of those things you can't do on the road, and we do it. We hand him the ball. And like I said, number 1 was running the ball good. He's a young guy too. They've got some good skill coming back. They're going to be tough to deal with next year. 33 was a good running back right there. Nose slants the wrong way. We just do a poor job up front right there and give them 2 gaps to run through. But anyway, back on offense right here, there's Gamble running good. Offense is coming off the ball good. Backs are blocking, and we're just moving the ball down the field. We're feeling good right now. It's 14-7. We just put the ball in his hand. He's hot right now. He's hard to tackle. You can see right there, people aren't bringing him down. Just a great job running, and we got some good blocking going on too. But it's 14-14. We say, hey, we just got to get a stop. We get some good plays right here, and I think we're about to get off the field, we get a penalty. Back on offense right here, there's Gamble. They throw a flag right here on a hold, and we never found the hold. Here we are, we're going to throw a little quick screen. There's Cookie back underneath. Fake it to the left, and hit Cookie back on the right side, a little double screen. There's Gamble again, doing a good job of reading the zone, bending it back. Like I said, he was hot. He was a hot hand that first half. You couldn't hardly bring him down. And of course, you got to have some good blocking. Here they are back on offense, and we play it well right there. Good job by Kenny Britt. Kenny Britt came up with some big stops Friday night. Little jet sweep to number 8 right here. They're kind of deceptive. Their speed was deceptive. They had some kids who could run. Lose contained right here with the outside linebacker. Then we miss a tackle right there with the cornerback. Just two mistakes you can't make. Lose contained again with the outside linebacker. And if you can't keep them bottled up, they're going to find somebody to hit for long. So we go into halftime, 21-21. So it's pretty, it's scary right now. It's touch and go. We tell the kids, we got to go out there second half. We got to make some adjustments. But a lot of things we got to do is just basically fix our problems, fix us.
Well, a slugfest, 6 touchdowns scored in that first half. And Coach, looking at them going into this game, looking at their schedule and some of the results of the games they played, were they a hard team to get a handle on film? Because it seemed like they had some games where they just didn't play very well, and then they had some surprising wins.
They ran off and just left Valley and ran off and left Chilton, and then when they played Pell City, they get beat. So it was a tale of 2 teams, sort of. I was hoping we were going to play the team that played Pell City last week, but we didn't. We evidently played the Chelsea that played Valley and Chilton. And my hat's off to them. They did a great job, and they played hard. But, we kind of knew they would because their backs were to the wall just like ours were.
Well, we'll take a break and come back with second half highlights. But as we go to break, let's listen in to the Oxford High School Marching Band who made the trip down to Chelsea last Friday night. And let's look at And we're back in the Jacket Corner, head into the second half, tied 21 apiece. Coach, you're in a dogfight in a do-or-die situation here.
Yeah, and of course, you know, we know we're going on offense. We're going to keep putting the ball in 21's hands. And right here, we surprise them. Weber pulls it, keeps it for a big play right there, because at this point now, they're putting about 11 guys on Gamble, and that worked out perfect with Weber taking that ball and keeping it right there. And then we get close enough, we can just give them the ball and power it in. So great job by the offense. The offense, you know, offense played great the whole game. I can't say enough about how the offense played. Defense, we just made mistakes early. We ran right by the returner right there. One of our guys, he ran right in on the outside of a block, and you know we always got to avoid inside, make it go out to a contained guy. Just another mental mistake we made. Here they are running the jet with number 8. Number 8 had some speed. Now, he might be the fastest guy on the team right there. And here's 5 keeping the ball. They've been handing the ball off on a little power right there. Well, they faked that handoff and pulled him around. That was a new wrinkle they had for us. Right here they messed up. Great job by Jacob Shake. He played a heck of a game all night long. Very proud of Jacob Friday night. Guy right there, number 7, good-looking kid, about 6'3", goes up, makes a great play. Right there is probably the play of the game for us. Kenny Britt on a 4th and 1, gets through there, stops the running back right in his tracks. That was an unbelievable play by a sophomore. So we get back on offense, get the ball to 21 right here. Try to keep it balanced, run the clock. And like I said a couple times this year, Ty's done a great job all year punting the ball. We'll get a stop right here on defense. They got to punt it, and they go for the fake, and played it great. We worked on it more, worked on stopping the fake this past week more than we have all year, because we'd seen them do 5 different fakes. So we knew we were going to get one. We didn't know when, and the guys just did a great job playing it. We get mixed up right there with our blockers, and we still get 10 yards. You know, Lady Luck shining on you when you can do stuff like that. But we just hand the ball to Gamble, just trying to pound them, challenging the offensive line right there, and those 2 blocking backs. Get a body on a body. And
your lines just crushed it.
Right there, we crushed it, did a great job, and that's what we had to have. We get down there 4th and 3, and I really felt like Borelli could do it. You know, we hadn't done that much around here, you know. So it took a little bit of guts to call it, but, you know, he was confident. I asked him, he said, yes, sir. So he went in and nailed it, just did a great job. Still got to improve on kickoff. We still got to get about 9 guys running down the field harder. They're back on offense right here, and 5 just, you know, they're in an empty formation, I think, and he just finds a hole, a seam, and he hits it. Right here toward the end of the game, we've been praying for that all year long. We knew Sears had the ability to make a play and intercept the ball, and finally he did at a crucial time. So very happy for Jacob Sears.
And the best formation in football, the victory formation. Oxford closing out the win on the road 31-21 to improve to 5-4. But what really matters is locking up the playoff berth as the 3rd seed in the region. So after giving up 21 points in that first half, your defense pitches a shutout in the second half. So no coach got half their head shaved Friday night?
No, we probably should have done that. I'm glad you didn't mention that to the kids. They'd have wanted some kind of deal to be worked out. But you know, we kind of wanted another coach to get his head shaved. That didn't happen, but I'll take the win, you know.
All right, well, time now to take a look at the individual player awards from Friday night's huge region victory at Chelsea. Here we go, Coach. Walk us through them.
Air Jacket Award, Jake Cook. Racehorse Award, of course, Trey Gamble had over 300 yards rushing. Game Breaker, that goes to Trey Gamble, too. Most hits, KJ Adams. Highest grade defensive line, Cole Hurd. You know, like I've said time after time, Cole Hurd, he's not big, but his heart sure is. A highest grade offensive line, Cam Hill. Good to see Cam in there playing. You know, he had that appendicitis early in the year and hadn't played much this year. Meanest Jacket, Trey Gamble. When you run the ball like he did over and over and over, that's pretty self-explanatory. He's going to get that award. Takeaway, Jacob Sears, proud to see his name up there. Kenny Britt with a Hammer Award, you know, made that play on the goal line, big stop. Special teams, that's another one, self-explanatory. Keaton Bowe really came in and made that kick. Of course, he's been hitting all his extra points, doing a good job kicking the ball off also. Pride Award, Dallas Edamino last week in practice. Dallas gave us a good look every day. Real proud of Dallas.
All right, congratulations to the young men who were recognized this week for the Individual Player Award. Speaking of recognition of players, when we come back, we'll have our player spotlight, which will focus on 2 key Oxford defenders in this 2014 season. And we'll also look ahead to Friday night's matchup with Decatur. Stay with us in the Jacket Corner.
Yard line. Top fakes it that time. Houston takes it up the middle of the field. Breaks the tackle, breaks another one, still on his feet. He has to turn down, looking for running room, pulling his way through. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets. Establishing a line of scrimmage. That's exactly what.
Well, you know, a key component to last Friday night's victory was the shutout the defense came up with in the second half against Chelsea, holding them to no points in the third and fourth quarter. Two key members of that Oxford defense are our focus this week in our player spotlight. Here's TV 24's Chase Robinson.
To be an outside linebacker, you have to be a tough, physical football player. And Oxford has two in seniors Tanner Lloyd and Jacob Shake. For Lloyd, one of the many senior leaders on the team, both Coach Herring and his position coach Matt Tanner says Tanner Lloyd is smart and the kind of player you want on your team. And Lloyd attributes his success of his time here at Oxford to his coaches.
My time here at Oxford has been great. I've had excellent coaching staff. Head coach coaches us hard. Assistant coaches, my outside linebacker coach, coaches as hard as he can. And we work hard every day.
Tanner Lloyd's a great kid, comes from a great family. He's the kind of kid you want in your program, and the kind of kid I'm glad we got in our program. Shows up every day, hard working, works hard in the weight room, comes out here, leads by example, on and off the field. You know, just there's not enough good things I can say about Tanner.
For Jacob Shake, this is his first year at starting outside linebacker as he moved over from corner where he started last year. And Shake says the key to being an outside linebacker is being fearless.
Being an outside linebacker, you have to be the baddest son of a gun on the field. You got to be able to hit people with your face and get off the block. You got to be able to splatter, dig, pulling guards. You just got to be the baddest son of a gun on the field. You got to be fearless.
Jacob Shake's cut from the same mold as Tanner Lloyd. On time, here every day, yes sir, no sir. Anything you ask him to do, he's going to do everything he can in his power to do it, and that's why I love Jacob Shake.
I say it all the time. I'm probably the most blessed coach out here when it comes to personnel. Again, the same thing with Tanner. Shake's the same way. They're both smart. I'm going to get everything out of them. They're going to go full speed. They're going to hit hard. They take coaching. They do everything I ask them to do. They're seniors, so it's going to. We're going to miss them a lot next year.
For the Jacket Corner, I'm Chase Robinson.
Well, again, it seemed like we've done this several times throughout the season. Not very big here in our player spotlight, but a lot of heart.
Man, I tell you what, those two guys right there, I watch them every day get coached hard, and they practice hard, and they play hard, they act right, they do all the little things right. It's, and I know you get tired of hearing me say this, but they're good kids. And, they're the kind of kids you want. They're the kind of kids you want to coach. So, I just feel like we're blessed to have kids like that right now.
You got to have these guys on your team, don't you? I mean, you hear a lot of times coaches will say they'll take, 11 of those instead of, one or two superstars. Obviously, you need a little bit of both, but you can't really build a good team without guys that have that kind of attitude, can you?
No, and I tell you what, you talk about superstars. Well, they're superstar people. They're superstars when it comes to what type of person they are, and I didn't do that. I didn't make them like that. Their parents have done a great job, and of course they've done a great job of being the type of kids, the type of young men they're supposed to be.
All right, that's our player spotlight for the week. Tanner Lloyd and Jacob Shake. Let's take a look at the final region standings now that region play is complete. Class 6A Region 3, the new region for Oxford this year. The top four teams, Opelika, Benjamin Russell, Oxford, and Pell City, those are your four playoff teams heading into the 2014 playoffs in a couple of weeks. We'll have more on that at the end of the show, but let's look at this week's matchup, which is a non-region game to finish the regular season, as Oxford will host Decatur on senior night. This will be a very tough football game for you, Coach. They come in at 6-3. They played some very good competition, and I know you're impressed with what you've seen out of them on film.
Yeah, they've got a very tough schedule. I was just noticing their schedule. They're non-region games, playing people like Bob Jones. They played Florence last Friday for the region championship, and up until the fourth quarter, it could have gone either way. And Florence is loaded this year, so it's going to be very worthy opponent. I like the way they play defense. They've got 11 guys that run and hit. Offensively, they play real physical. They're going to run the football, and they're going to throw it when they need to. So they've got a coach that's been there a long time, kind of like Buddy Anderson at Vestavia. Jerry Adcock's his name. He's a big name in the state, and especially at the Alabama High School Athletic Association. So they've got their program going how they want it, and I look for it to be a very, very physical, tough contest.
And some outstanding seniors will be honored on Friday night as senior night. Hopefully they'll play again at Lamar Field. This is the last regular season game for your seniors. Talk about that group.
Well, since I got here, they've been worked, and they've worked. This, especially this year, at times when we were 1 and 2, then we were 2 and 3. We're talking about teenagers here, and there's a lot of other things going on in their life. These seniors have stuck with it and said, hey, we're going to make the most of this season. We're not going to give up. We still got goals we set that we want to try to get to. And we've talked about it all year. I always like it when you're in the weight room or when you're at practice, work with the end in mind. Work to work where you want to be. That's how you have to work. No matter what we did last Friday night, whether we won or lost, we still got to work today thinking about the end in mind. And I think they've done that, and I'm proud. I'm proud of them for that.
And obviously, I know your whole focus this week is Decatur, but we do know your first-round playoff opponent. You'll be in the playoffs as a 3rd seed out of the region. You'll have to travel to take on Dothan. So I want to pass that along to everyone. And even though I know you hadn't had a chance to look at them, they're going to be good.
Yeah, Dothan will be a very athletic team. They always are. And it'll be fun though. It's playoffs. We'll get charter buses. It'll be a big deal. I don't mind taking trips anywhere in the playoffs. I don't care if we go to Northwest Alabama or Southeast Alabama, wherever. I'm happy. We're in the playoffs. I'm happy.
All right, and we will be with you in the playoffs with the Jacket Corner as long as the Jackets are alive. So we'll see you next week for a recap of the Decatur game and a look ahead to the first-round playoff matchup with Dothan. For Coach Harry, Mickey Shadrick saying so long. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
Good job right there. Good block by Jacob Cook. Right to tackle. Speed right there for Gamble. Yep, the Jordanian Gamble looking for money. Pulling his way through. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets. Down into the line of scrimmage. That's exactly what the